ठीक है. Yes. And also the history of Bali. Bali was very powerful personality.
It's a son of Indradev, no sir?
Son of Indra. And Bali was just like Indra got a little proud. So he has also become a little proud, and therefore he misbehaved with his brother. So after being, arrow of Lord Rama and seeing his beautiful form, he revived his Krishna consciousness, and he was very happy while leaving the world. And I'm fortunate to be killed by the Lord. And he told his Angada, come forward. And he took out a pearl necklace. So everybody thought he will give pearl necklace to Angada because that pearl necklace had all the powers, mystic powers.
Yes.
But he gave it to Sugriv.
He gave to Sugriv, and he told Angada, you serve Sugriva. So, and he even gave his wife to Sugriva, told his wife to serve Sugriva. So we see that he had no remorse. He happily died. पर लोग इसमें बड़ा तमाशा बनाते हैं, उसको क्यों मार दिया? अरे उसको प्रॉब्लम नहीं, आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है? Bali had no problem, you have problem. ऐसे लोग फनी हो गए.
Yes.
क्या हुआ? इको आ रहा है क्या गौरव?
पता नहीं सर, इसका शायद से इज पुटिंग इसका नेट सर.
ओ समाधि में चला गया. ठीक है.
Hello.
हाँ अभी ठीक है. नेट इज ओके. यू कैन हियर अस क्लियरली और देयर इको. हमारा वॉइस क्लियर आ रहा है गौरव?
Yes सर, आपका क्लियर है सर. सर वो मेरे ओयो का वाईफाई काम नहीं कर रहा है सर.
ठीक है. नाउ पीपल कीप जॉइनिंग, वी डू नॉट वेट, वी स्टार्ट अप. चलो रोहन, थोड़ा देर कीर्तन कर सकते हैं. किधर, घर में हो किधर हो?
हाँ सर कर सकता हूँ सर, वो रूम बंद कर दो.
ठीक है, ठीक है. आराम से थोड़ा किलो 5 मिनट. अभी बाकी को थोड़ा पिंच करते हैं.
नमः कृष्ण 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 श्रीमते भक्ति स्वामी इति नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाचारिणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरवृंदा. हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
My
Hare Hare
understanding better.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Prabhuji's teaching is still going on.
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Chalo, Rohan, we'll start. Hare Krishna. Shisha, Hare Krishna, Shisha. Rohan, Vanita Mataji, Dr. Shisha Anand. Hare Krishna, Shisha. I think we were here. I think so. Mark is there. We start here. Okay.
Yeah.
I will read. Rohan, you want to read? Read.
At the same time, they are born from the transcendental bodies of the Lord. This relationship between the Lord and the living entities is explained in the Vedic literatures, wherein it is said that the Supreme Lord maintains all his children, giving them whatever they want. Similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, I am the seed giving father of all living entities. It is very simple to understand that the father gives birth to the children. So the children act according to their own desires. Therefore, the father is never responsible for the different futures of his.
Yes. Therefore, the father of the different futures of the children. Yes.
Children. Each child can take advantage of the father's property and instruction, but even though the inheritance and instruction be the same for all the children, out of their different desires, each child creates a different life and thereby suffers or enjoys.
Okay, so it is for us to internalize the instructions of Bhagavad Gita and follow them. Krishna as the Supreme Father has two natures. See, the reflection we can get in the middle word, just like father has a natural tendency to maintain a child. Whatever the child may say, they may not live together, but father will maintain the child. He cannot see the child is hungry. The same way, Krishna has the same mood. It's a reflection of Krishna's mood, the material father. Because Krishna says, I am the father, he's the real father. And he has this mood of maintaining and protecting the child. These two things we are always praying to the Lord: protection, maintenance. Protection, maintenance. Correct? Krishna is naturally doing that for every living entity.
Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita's instructions are equal for everyone. Everyone should surrender unto the Supreme Lord, and He will take charge of them and protect them from sinful reactions. The facilities of living in the creation of the Lord are equally offered to all living entities. Whatever there is, either on the land, on water, or in the sky, is equally given to all living entities. Since they are all sons of Supreme Lord, everyone can enjoy the material facilities given by the Lord, but unfortunate living entities create unfavorable conditions of life by fighting among themselves. The responsibility of this fighting and creating favorable and unfavorable situations of life lies with the living entities, not with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the living entities take advantage of the Lord's instruction as given in Bhagavad Gita and develop Krishna consciousness. Then their lives become sublime and they can go back to Godhead.
Okay, this is clear. So the opportunity is given equal to everybody. They're all sons of Supreme Lord. Prabhupada says just like a water you throw on the stone, it doesn't absorb and the sand absorbs. But water was equally given. But somebody according to his nature can absorb the instruction and apply. Somebody does not. So it is left to him. So it is left to us whether you want to follow or not want to follow. Instruction is given. Something very interesting Prabhupada says that the last look of Bhagavad Gita, last Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja Aham Tvam Sarvapapebhyo Mokshishami Mahasutya. Prabhupada says that this instruction is still standing. You understand? That assurance is still there. If you take my shelter, I'll give you all protection. That assurance is still there. Various angles we can think. Because when you take shelter of Krishna, many times you may be giving up our so-called duties. So that you do get some sinful reaction out of when you give up a duty. So Krishna says, don't worry. If you're sincere, you are protected. Aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshishami mahasutya. Another angle to look at is there's so many sinful activities we have done. But we think, how will I come to Krishna? So Krishna says, doesn't matter. You develop your sincere desire to surrender to me, I'll take care. Just like कहाँ से बॉम्बे से निट्टे जा रहे थे और रास्ते में बहुत लोगों से भिड़ गए. You want to say that I want to come back to Bombay, but इतने बैंगलोर में निट्टे में आपने केस बना के रखे हुए हैं. So Krishna is saying, don't matter. You have a sincere desire to come to me, I'll close all the cases. So we came to the metal world to be independent of Krishna, but we're entangled in so many sinful activities are done, and Maya has kept various terms of imprisonment for us. 8 साल का case, 4 साल का section में के 3 साल. Maya has many things, but you can be relieved from all the things if we surrender to Krishna. Because metal energy works on its own way. If you do a sinful activity, there is this punishment. If you do sinful activity, तो बड़ा account है. यमराज के बाद बहुत लेखा चिट्ठी है. So Krishna is saying, if you are sincere to come to me, I'll burn all that. You can be relieved from all that. Otherwise, metal energy works in a particular way. So Krishna is assuring everybody. Left to us, you want to take or not to take? Yes, Shisha, Gaurav, Vanita, any comments? Chalo, continue.
No, sir. No,
Gaurav, want to say something?
no, sir.
Chalo, continue, Rohan.
Sir, the next page. One may argue that because this material world is created by the Lord, he is therefore responsible for its condition. Certainly, he is indirectly responsible for the creation and maintenance of this material world, but he is never responsible for the different conditions of living entities. The Lord's creation of this material world is compared to the clouds' creation of vegetation. In the rainy season, the clouds create different varieties of vegetables. The cloud pours water on the surface of the earth, but it never touches the earth directly. Similarly, the Lord creates this material world simply by glancing over the material energy. This is confirmed in the Vedas. He threw his glance over the material nature, and thus there was creation. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also confirmed that simply by his transcendental glance over the material nature, he creates different varieties of entities, both movable and immovable, living and dead.
Okay. Simply by his glance, he creates different varieties of entities. Okay? He gives us a chance and he gives us facilities. But what you do with that, we cannot blame the Lord. It is left to us. Okay? Hare Krishna, Pushpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, it's a very nice symbolism. Clouds. Clouds pour water, and with the water, you can do whatever you want. You cannot blame the Lord. See, one of the advancement in Krishna consciousness to accept responsibility. Generally, people put blame on the Lord. Why he has sent me to this world? Why did he create the world like this? So Prabhupada is saying he's not responsible for our condition. Atma kritam vikapakam. Whatever condition we are, it is we who have brought that condition. इधर से आ रहा है background noise. ठीक है. Murthy Mataji,
Yes, Prabhu.
I just muted you.
Sorry?
I muted you because there is some background noise. Okay. Okay, it doesn't matter, no? When you're speaking, you take out, otherwise it's okay. Okay. So it's very important. Krishna is not responsible for our different conditions. We are responsible. Okay. A nice meditation, Rohan.
Yes, sir.
See, even in the mind, we say this, no? Whatever you think, you become like that. So whatever you contemplate, see, grossly situation is because of your karma. Isn't it fine? You're responsible for it. Anna?
Yes.
Okay. And then subtly also the condition of the mind, there also I am responsible. No? Because whatever you contemplate, we keep thinking. So different people have different mind. Somebody may have mind very pure, feeling pleasure of Krishna conscious all the time. So we have whatever condition of mind we are in, we are responsible for that. So if that kind of attitude develops, then comes attitude of improvement. Then I accept, first thing I should be introspective and see. Then when I sit for chanting, I chant very attentively so that I want Krishna's shelter. And I know and always will be praying. My attitude will become very nice. When I go to the deities, I meet devotees. Please give me mercy. Please give me blessings. He wants to taste higher and higher level of Krishna consciousness. Okay. This is where are we? One may argue metal world is greater. No, this is done. No, next one.
Done.
Yeah. Continue.
The creation of the material world can therefore be taken as one of the pastimes of the Lord. It is called one of the pastimes of the Lord because he creates this material world whenever he desires. This desire of the Supreme for having a body is also extreme mercy on his part because it gives another chance to the conditioned souls to develop their original consciousness and thus go back to God. Therefore, no one can blame the Supreme Lord for creating this material world. From the subject matter.
Wait.
Yes.
अरे भागने की जरूरत नहीं, कोई जल्दी नहीं है. ठीक है. What is the point here? This creation, Krishna is not attached. It's just, we are responsible. But another way to look at it, it's Krishna's mercy, because a chance is coming for us to surrender to Him. Correct? One more chance. So creation, look, rather pointing finger at God. Why did He create this world? We should rather, just like exam होता है ना, अब टीचर एग्जामिनेशन लेके आ गया तो क्या लगता है, तो मार दिया इसने, तो गोली मार दी इसने, आज तो पूरा खत्म कर दिया, ऐसे दिखता है. बट एट द सेम टाइम वी शुड से इट्स अ चांस द टीचर इज गिविंग मी, to improve in my understanding. We look in a positive way. So creation is one more chance given. You want, we can surrender that way. Yeah, the subject matter.
From the subject matter under discussion, we can gain a clear.
Just like ये लो ना, एक और सप्ली मिल गई. हमारे कॉलेज में ऐसा होता था कि समर में सप्ली बहुत मुश्किल से मिलती थी. टीचर को, किसी टीचर को एग्री कराना पड़ता था, क्योंकि समर में कोई टीचर काम नहीं करना चाहता ना, छुट्टी का टाइम रहता है. तो बड़ा हम लोग रो पीट के उसको कन्विंस करते, सर समर में ले लो. तो व्हेन ही टेकिंग द कोर्स, फर्स्ट थिंग वी आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दिस. समर में कोर्स कर रहे हैं, घर में बोलते थे प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो वी आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दैट सप्ली. एंड देन व्हेन द टीचर टेक द कोर्स, वी आर ग्रेटफुल बिकॉज ही इज गिविंग अस अ चांस टू पास दैट कोर्स, isn't it? The middle word is we are getting a chance to pass the course. Okay, done.
सर उधर ज्यादा फेल हुआ है तो कॉलेज से निकाल देंगे. तो कृष्णा सप्ली के सप्ली देते हैं सर.
हाँ, कृष्णा का सप्ली बहुत है, कभी एंड ही नहीं होता.
कभी एंड नहीं होता है, चांस पे चांस देते रहते हैं, अभी पास हो जाए, अभी पास हो जाए तो करके.
They should learn from Krishna, no? They
Yes.
don't learn from Krishna. Because everything in the middle world, Krishna gives the best example. Every college should have unlimited supplies. Okay, next.
From the subject matter under discussion, we can gain a clear understanding of the difference between the impersonalist and the personalist. The personal conception recommends merging in the existence of the Supreme, and the voidist philosophy recommend making all material varieties void. Both these philosophies are known as Maya. Certainly, the cosmic manifestation comes to a close and becomes void when the living entities merge into the body of Narayana to rest until another creation. And this may be called as impersonal condition, but these conditions are never eternal. The cessation of the variegatedness of the material world and the merging of the living entities into the body of the Supreme are not permanent because the creation will take place and the living entities who merge into the body of the Supreme without having developed their Krishna consciousness again appear in this material world when there is another creation. The Bhagavad Gita confirms the next confirms the fact that this material world is created and annihilated. This is going on perpetually, and the conditioned souls who are without Krishna consciousness come back again and again whenever the material creation is manifest. If such conditioned souls take advantage of the opportunity and develop Krishna consciousness under the direct instructions of the Lord, then they are transferred to the spiritual world and do not have to come back again to the material creation. It is said, therefore, that the voidist and the impersonalist are not very intelligent because they do not take shelter under the lotus feet of the Lord. Because they are less intelligent, these voidists and impersonalists take to different types of austerities, either to attain the stage of nirvana, which means finishing the material conditions of life, or to attain oneness by merging into the body of the Lord. All of them again fall down because they neglect the lotus feet of the Lord. Very nice.
So most of them have two only. Either they want to become nothing, or they want to merge in the body of the Lord. Most of the people, if you talk to on the street, if you have friends and all classmates and start discussing the philosophy, they come to this thing that finally we will merge into nothing. We will become nothing. We have come from nothing. I was trying to long time to convince my classmate, and he was trying to preach to me that actually we have come from random chaos. And there's all kind of some atheistic philosophy they develop and they believe in it. Okay.
So Krishnan sir made a beautiful point once.
What is that?
He said, suppose there's a blast in the room. What will happen after the blast? Will the chairs and tables automatically arrange themselves, or what will happen? Speak with common sense, he asked. So,
Sir, we got on trial, sir. That video also is the same argument comes.
Yes. Yes.
in his book, Science and Nescience, he writes this.
Correct.
Suppose there's an explosion. That was wonderful.
Hey, we also need to develop. Now what is happening, Rohan knows about it, Gaurav knows. We are slowly, a lot of devotees are coming, Gaurav here. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So we need to organize ourselves. I think Rohan told you. So we need
Yes,
to
sir.
organize ourselves. So many things we are thinking we can do. Chalo. Confirm the fact material world is created and later it is going on perpetually. Conditioned souls are without Krishna consciousness come back again and again. If such a condition is the opportunity to develop direct Krishna, then they are transferred to the spiritual plant. And the void is in the person are not very intelligent because they don't take shelter in the Lord's command. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Desha. So Prabhupada is doing his work.
That Prabhupada was giving a strong this one message in his class itself. Yeah. That and after that he was going on taking that varieties are coming. How that varieties are coming. Yeah. There is no variety, and also this. Then after that there is nothing is there, and we're becoming one with Brahman. Then he gives a so detailed class on that how the creation takes place in his class. Actually, third series. Yeah.
Yeah, continue, Rohan.
In Chaitanya Charitamrita, the author Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, after studying all the Vedic literature and hearing from all authorities, has given this his opinion that Krishna is the only supreme master and that all living entities are his eternal servants. His statement is confirmed in the prayers by the personified Vedas. The conclusion is therefore that everyone is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone is serving under the supreme direction of the Lord, and everyone is afraid of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is out of fear of Him that activities are being rightly executed. Everyone's position is to be subordinate to the Supreme Lord. Yet the Lord has no partiality in His view of the living entities. He is just like the unlimited sky. As the sparks of fire dance in the fire, similarly, all living entities are like birds flying in the unlimited sky. Some of them are flying very high, some are flying at a lesser altitude,
Yes.
and some are flying at still lesser altitude. The different birds are flying in different position according to their respective abilities to fly. The sky has nothing to do with this ability. In the Bhagavad Gita, also, the Lord confirms that He awards different positions to different living entities according to their proportionate surrender. This proportionate reward by the Supreme Personality of God, by the Personality of Godhead to the living entities is not partiality. Therefore, in spite of living entities being situated in different positions, in different spheres, and in different species of life, all of them always under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and yet he is never responsible for the different living conditions. It is foolish and artificial, therefore, to think oneself equal to the Supreme Lord, and it is still more foolish to think that one has not seen God. Everyone is seeing God in his different aspects. The only difference is that the thief sees God as the Supreme Personality, the most beloved Krishna, and the atheist sees the absolute truth as ultimate death.
See, he reveals himself to the capacity for to the degree people can handle. Just like you have a friend, and now you reveal yourself to him to his capacity to handle. In Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna says, Arjuna, I want to tell you more, I want to tell you more, I want to tell you more. Isn't it? All the chapters are developing. So Krishna, as he feels more and more love from the devotee, keeps revealing more and more of his glories because they can handle. Otherwise, people become envious. They cannot handle the glories. So nice statement out of everyone is under the control. Everyone is serving under the direct Supreme Personality Godhead. Everyone is afraid. Everyone's activity is to be subordinate to the Supreme Lord. That is Chaitanya Charitamrita Prabhupada is quoting. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasava Bhritya. Krishna, the only master, all living and the eternal servant. That's the shloka. The birds are flying according to the capacity. The sky has nothing to do with it. One more angle we take it is our realizations differ. One bird can fly for miles high, other bird jump from one branch to another. So we are in the small bird jumping from one branch to another.
So there was a
So correct, there is no partiality. Proportional reward is not partiality. According to capacity, Krishna is revealing. Like gopis want to surrender more. Prabhupada says very nice thing. He says that desire is unlimited and supply is also unlimited. Devotee want more and more love from Krishna, and Krishna keeps supplying more and more. Metal word, it is becomes saturated. So don't think you are equal to the Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada, don't say that you have not seen God. Another joke is there. Don't say you're not seeing God. We are seeing God in different aspects. We explained this, no, Gaurav? Remember many times? One student sees the teacher because he is responding to the teacher, affectionately developing good relations. So he sees the teacher. One person is ignoring the presence of the teacher in the class, is thrown out of the class. So he sees the teacher as the power to get out. Isn't it? So one person sees a
yes, sir. In fact,
like Prahlad and loving reciprocation, and one person like Hiranyakashipu only as death, ultimate death. Yes, Rohan, is this clear? No, this point we discussed many times.
Yes, sir. वो PM का भी सर आप एक एग्जांपल दिए थे जैसे कि if we want to go and meet the PM, if you're an ordinary citizen, you can't just go and meet the Prime Minister. You need to be qualified to meet the Prime Minister. So there are many
there
people
was
who are qualified to meet the Prime Minister. That doesn't mean that if you are not qualified, not everyone is qualified. So and
and there was one class by Rasaraj Prabhu.
What happened?
So Rasaraj Prabhu said one devotee approached Srila Prabhupada and he said, "My father is an atheist. How do I convince him that Krishna is God? He's a drunkard." So he feels after drinking, So Prabhupada asked what happens after drinking. Then he said, Prabhupada, he feels the urge to pass urine. So Prabhupada said, you tell him that this urge is Krishna.
That's this earth where you're passing urine.
This urge to pass urine is Krishna. Yeah. So that was beautiful when I heard it. That this urge to pass urine is Krishna. You tell him this.
Yeah. Sometimes Prabhupada even laughed. He said that, hey Rohan, वो कोई नया आदमी है हरिदास उसको जरा बताओ हरिदास
ठीक
आ रहे हैं कोई
ठीक
क्या
है
करना है उसको दबाओ ये बटन दबाओ उसको दिखाओ उसको
Okay, sir.
I can also do a little work for it. Here it is.
Hello. Hello.
Uh-huh.
हाँ I'm Gaurav फिर नया one new soul जीवा is there. हम लोग जरा लगे हैं उसको. Okay.
Then there was one more class of Raj Prabhu where he was saying about the talking about the taste of gulab jamun.
Talk.
He was talking about the taste of gulab jamun.
That
Raj
is
Prabhu.
Sankhya. That is Sankhya.
Acha.
That is Sankhya analysis. Sankhya ka, that is his. He, you know what happened? He has a course in this BI.
Yeah.
And in that course, one of the chapters is Sankhya, one of the subjects rather, 2 semesters. It's a MS course, no? So they teach Sankhya there. And so in that, all this thing comes. Taste of gulab jamun. Is it there in you or in the jamun or in combination? Hana?
Yes, sir. Then he says it is Krishna.
The taste of gulab jamun is Krishna.
It's Krishna.
You have some of his classes with you?
Yes, sir. Actually, it's there on YouTube. It's called Desire Tree. So I just keep downloading and hearing it. It's
Okay.
he. He's some other level only, sir.
Yeah. Where are we, Rohan? We continue. ये इतना बड़ा चैप्टर है गौरव 3 महीने हो गए हम उसी के अंदर है हाँ
Yes, sir.
जनरली एक टाइम में एक चैप्टर करते थे हम लोग इधर 3 महीने में इधर ही हम हाँ ये किधर है रोहन
So the personified Vedas continue to pray.
हाँ चलो स्टार्ट
The personified Vedas continue to pray. Our dear Lord, from all the Vedic information, it is understood that you are the supreme controller and all the living entities are controlled. Both the Lord and the living entities are called Nitya, eternal, and so are qualitatively one. Yet the singular Nitya or the supreme Lord is the controller, whereas the plural Nityas are controlled. The individual controlled living entities resides within the body, and the supreme controller, as the supersoul, is also present there. The supersoul is controlling the individual soul. That is the vertical of the Vedas. If the individual souls were not controlled by the supersoul, then how would one explain the Vedic version that a living entity transmigrates from one body to another, enjoying and suffering the effects of his past deeds? Sometimes he is
promoted
promoted to a higher standard of life, and sometimes he is degraded to a lower standard of life. Thus, the conditioned souls are not only under the control of the Supreme Lord, but they are also conditioned by the control of the material nature. This relationship of the,
हाँ continue
this, this relationship of the living entities to the Supreme Lord as the control and the controller definitely proves that all the Supreme Super soul is all pervasive. The individual living entities are never all pervasive. If the individual souls are all pervasive, there would be no questions of their being controlled. Theory that the super soul and the individual souls are equal is therefore a polluted conclusion, and no sensible person accepts it. Rather, one should try to understand the distinctions between the supreme eternal and the subordinate eternal.
okay Take a controller and control. We are in the position where thinking we are equal to the Supreme Lord. But real consciousness is controller, controlled. That's a very beautiful consciousness that we can have. Lord is a controller, we are controlled. Lord is a controller, we are controlled. Isn't it, Rohan? Prabhupada is driving home this
Yes.
point to the rebellious jivas like us. Krishna is the controller, you're controlled. Krishna is the controller, you're controlled. Very, Prabhupada is doing his work on target. Rohan?
Yeah.
You keep reading, you become a devotee after some time.
Yeah. सर पढ़ने से थोड़ा ह्यूमिलिटी भी आ जाता है सर
Supreme eternal, subordinate eternals. Yeah.
मार के समझा रहे सर थ्रू टेक्स्ट
Continue. Personified Vedas.
Yes. The personified Vedas therefore concluded, O Lord, both you and the limited Dhruvas, the living entities, are eternal. The form of the unlimited eternal is sometimes calculated as the universal form, and in the Vedic literature, like the Upanishads, the form of the limited eternal is vividly described. It is said therein that the original spiritual form of the living entities is 1,000th the size of the tip of a hair. It is stated that the spirit is greater than the greatest and the smaller than the smallest. The individual living entities who are eternally part and parcel of God are smaller than the smallest. With our material senses, we can perceive neither the Supreme, who is greater than the greatest, nor the individual soul, who is smaller than the smallest. We have to understand both the greatest and the smallest from the authoritative sources of the Vedic literature. Vedic literature states that he, Supersoul, is sitting within the body of a living entity and is as big as a thumb. Therefore, the argument may be put forward: how can something the size of the thumb be accommodated within the heart of an ant? The answer is that the thumb measurement of the supersoul is imagined in proportion to the body of the living entity. In all circumstances, therefore, the supersoul and the individual living entity cannot be taken as one. Although both of them enter within this material body of the living entity, the supersoul living within the heart is for directing or controlling the individual living entity. Although both are dhruva or eternal, the living entity is always under the direction of the Supreme.
Anyway, Krishna's form is transcendental and corresponding to the living entity. It will be there. Taken a very nice. Here it is said and the thumb. Sometimes it is said of the hand. A shisha.
Yeah,
Sometimes it is said like this, no?
yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, thumb, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
How much it is? 9 inches.
Yeah.
Scale is there. रोहन तेरा स्केल लेके तेरे को कितना आता है?
सर पूरा थंब सर
हाँ
पूरा थंब
3 inches.
सर मेरा 6 सेंटीमीटर का है सर
अरे स्केल किधर है? उसको क्या मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर गौरव स्केल नहीं है उसके पास देखो
सर इधर है सर इधर है
हाँ तो कितना आ रहा है कितना
सर 6.5 सेंटीमीटर सर
6.5 नहीं इंच कितना है
इंच सर इंच
1 inch is 2.5.
इधर से लो नीचे थंब के
2.5 सर
फिंगर के टॉप तक
सर 2 and 3
That is 6 inches, sir. 15 centimeters, 6 inches.
नहीं ऐसे लो ऐसे कितना आता है
6 inches, sir.
पूरा थंब के डाउन से ये छोटा फिंगर के टॉप तक
हाँ सर 15 centimeters आएगा. That is 6 inches.
सर मेरा 7 इंच आ रहा है
ठीक है ऐसे ही Shisha, some places it explained like this, no? This much is the height.
Yeah, bro. Oh, this one. Yeah, bro.
The heart.
Yeah.
Anna?
Yeah, bro.
As far as I remember, some place.
Yeah,
तो
yeah.
बहुत बड़ा है sir.
Heart is smaller than that.
तो भगवान बड़ा ही है बाबा, छोटे नहीं है भगवान, बड़ा है। अच्छा है।
Yes. और
बड़े तो है
हम
भगवान।
sir
हाँ
सर हमारा तो हेयर टिप से तो 1000 टाइम छोटा है.
हाँ, आत्मा का तो 10,000 part tip of the hair. Anything is bigger, but some place it is said like that. Okay.
So he's bigger than the biggest and smaller than the smallest.
हाँ,
He's
Yeah.
bigger than the biggest and smaller than the smallest.
yes.
So there was one place I was reading, sir,
Although
where it is said,
eternal, the living entity is always under the direction of the Supreme. Okay. चलो, continue.
सर वो स्क्रीन सर.
ओ, हम बाहर आ गए क्या? Yeah, it may be argued.
It may be argued that because the living entities are born of the material nature, they are all equal and independent. In the Vedic literature, however, it is said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead impregnates the material nature with the living entities, and they come out. And then they come out. Therefore, the appearance of the individual living entities is not factually due to material nature alone. Just as a child produced by a woman is not her independent production, woman is first impregnated by a man, and then a child is produced. As such, the child produced by the woman is part and parcel of the man. Similarly, the living entities are apparently produced by the material nature, but not independently. It is due to the impregnation of the material nature by the Supreme Father that the living entities are present. Therefore, the argument that the individual living entities are not part and parcel of the Supreme cannot stand. For example, the different part and parcels of the body cannot be taken as equal to the whole. Rather, the whole body is the controller of different limbs. Similarly, the part and parcels of the supreme whole are always dependent and are always controlled by the source of the parts and parcels. It's confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaiva Vamso. No sane man, therefore, will accept the theory that the super soul and the individual soul are of the same category. They are equal in quality, but quantitatively, the super soul is always the supreme, and the individual soul is always subordinate to the super soul. That is the conclusion of the Vedas.
Okay. So living entities are equal and independent. Huh, Shisha?
Yeah, here three shlokas come into picture, Prabhu. Yes, he is expanding three shlokas actually. Nitya Nityanam, Chetana Chetanam, Vidadati Vidadati Kamam. Next shloka is Anoranya Mahato Mahayam. Vyasajanto Nihitagayam. One shloka, that, oh, this one. And
Correct.
another one, Mano so Geologi Jogosana. That, yeah, it comes like this.
Okay, correct.
Yeah.
Yes, you all know the shloka. Mave Vamsha Jiva Loke.
Jivaloke Sanatana.
Yes.
Manasasana, Pakistan, Krishna.
Yes. ठीक है, impregnate metal nature with the living entity, they come out. Therefore, the appearance of the living entities are not factually related to the metal nature. Child product of the woman is not an independent production. One is
and also Krishna.
because a child, so this actually we are part and parcel of Krishna spiritually. Materially, our body is part and parcel of the mother, but spiritually, the soul is part and parcel of the Lord. But the same feeling is there, just like mother has a feeling to maintain the child, care of the child. She feels the child is part of her body. So Krishna also has the natural fatherly feeling for us. We are part of his body.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Say in the current quality. Ordinary, always subordinate to the for soul. That is the conclusion. Yeah, Prabhupada is brought to this. Yeah, what is the doubt, Gaurav?
Sir, the doubt is that anyway, I'll just mail it to you, sir. It's a little complex doubt that I have.
ठीक है, part and parcel तो clear है ना अभी ये point, है ना?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Finger is part and parcel, should serve the body, है ना? We are part and parcel to the Lord, so we should participate in the mission of the Lord. Become subordinate to the Lord. Yes.
So this also Rasaraj Guru was telling no once that
two significant words. Rohan, start. Two significant words used in this connection are Yanmaya and
Two
Chinmaya.
significant words used in this connection are Yanmaya and Chinmaya.
Louder,
Sanskrit-
Rohan.
Yes. The significant words used in this connection are Yanmaya and Chinmaya. In Sanskrit grammar, the word Mayat is used in sense of transformation and also in the sense of sufficiency. The Mayavadi philosophers interpret that Yanmaya or Chinmaya indicates that the living entities is always equal to the Supreme. But one has to consider whether this affix Mayat is used for sufficiency or for transformation. The living entities never possesses anything exactly in the same proportion as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, this Mayat affix cannot be used to mean that the individual living entities is self-sufficient. The individual living entities never has sufficient knowledge. Otherwise, how could he have come under the control of Maya or the material energy? The word sufficient can be accepted, therefore, only in proportion to the magnitude of the living entities. The spiritual oneness of the Supreme Lord and the living entities is never to be accepted as homogeneity. Each and every living entity is individual. If homogeneous oneness is accepted, then by the liberation of one individual soul, all other individual souls would have been liberated immediately. But the fact is that every individual soul is differently enjoying and suffering in the material world.
Okay, understand this. So anyway, Prabhupada is going into the Sanskrit Yanmaya, Mayat version.
Complicated bit.
Okay, so anyway, Prabhupada said living entity is never self-sufficient. Okay, this is clear. Anna? We have always insufficient knowledge. We don't have the opulence like Krishna, even the knowledge is not sufficient. Anna? We don't have the opulence as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do we have? No. Then do we have knowledge which is self-sufficient? No. Knowledge is insufficient. Therefore, Prabhupada says, no, poor fund of knowledge. Again, he says, poor fund of knowledge because our knowledge is insufficient. He has full knowledge because he takes knowledge from Krishna. But on your own, your knowledge is insufficient. Therefore, you become victim of Maya. Never has sufficient knowledge. Therefore, how could they come under control of Maya if they have sufficient knowledge? Correct? Because spiritual oneness of we can never do it's a homogeneity. Because oneness is oneness in quality. If the homogeneous one applied, then liberation, living soul, all the souls would have been liberated. Okay, so everybody we see differently enjoying suffering in this world, and each one of us has to liberate ourselves independently. Okay, if it is one, then Gaurav will do sadhana, get liberated, I will also get liberated. Hana Gaurav? Nowadays they are doing this drama, you know the Rohan, the mindfulness and all TEDx shows. One person, both their eyes are closed, one person lifts his hand, other also lifts hand, they say we can get connected. All that drama they do. You have seen that drama?
Yes, sir.
Huh? And this is a great discovery. What is the use of all that drama, you know? And it's like two-person get attached. What is there anyway? Whatever connection. It's all subtle platform. What is the achievement by that? People waste their time and all this kind of thing. But we are independent individuals. I think they also like Mayavada conception. We are one, 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 one. But the fact is that if I do sadhana, get liberated, other person doesn't get liberated, isn't it? So all of us have to work. We are independent individuals. If you are one, then Shisha was chanting, we all get liberated. Hana Shisha? Prabhupada is saying no.
So,
ठीक है ना?
how is it possible, Prabhu?
If homogeneous one is accepted, then by the liberation of one individual soul, all other individual souls would also have been liberated immediately. है ना? Prabhupada saying, ये क्या argument
No,
है
no.
इसका? You know, he's like breaking all these arguments.
So I'll be responsible for my own liberation, not for
Yeah.
my other family members. Yeah.
No.
Then I will depend only on Rohan.
I'll be very happy. Somebody else.
Chalo, one.
See, if I can liberate others, means it's different.
Mataji does this one, I will be very happy.
Rohan, one more paragraph. The word mayat.
The word mayat is also used in the sense of transformation, or sometimes it is used to mean byproduct. The impersonalist theory is that the Brahman himself has accepted different types of bodies and that this is his leela or pastime. There are, however, many hundreds and thousands of species of life in different standards of living condition, such as human beings, demigods, animals, birds, and beasts. And if all of them are
Human beings.
and all of them were expansion of the Supreme Personal Absolute Truth, then there would be no question of liberation because Brahman is already liberated. Another interpretation put forward by the Mayavadis is that in every millennium, different types of bodies are manifested, and when the millennium is closed, all the different bodies are expansion of Brahman automatically become one, ending all the different manifestation. Then, in the next millennium, according to this theory, Brahman again expands in different bodily forms. If we accept this theory, then Brahman becomes subject to change. But this is not to be accepted. From Vedanta Sutra, we understand that Brahman is by nature joyful. He cannot therefore change himself into a body which is subjected to painful conditions. Actually, the living entities who are part and parcel of Brahman are infinitesimal particles prone to be recovered by the illusionary energy, as explained before. The particles of Brahman are like sparks blissfully dancing with a fire, but there is a chance of their falling from this fire to smoke. Although smoke is another condition of fire, this material world is just like smoke, and the spiritual world is just like a blazing fire. The innumerable living entities are prone to fall down to the material world from the spiritual world when influenced by illusory energy, and it is also possible for the living entities to become liberated again when, by cultivation of real knowledge, he becomes completely freed from the contamination of the material world.
Okay, just understand this too. Impersonalist theory, the Brahman has accepted different type of bodies. The Brahman become transformed. The Parinamavada, Vivartavada. Okay? And human being, all the lakhs of species are there. And the Mayavadi say is the Brahman has transformed to that. The Prabhupada is saying then what is liberation? Because Brahman is already liberated. Brahman cannot be conditioned. Brahmabhuta Prasannatma Nashochita Nikanshit. It's already liberated on that platform. So it is not Brahman is transforming, it is the energy which is transforming.
Na kanchati.
Anna, Shisha?
Yeah.
The energy which is transforming. Energy is eternal and it can be transformed to various. That's why what we are doing in all engineering, transforming everything from one stage to another. Correct? That's all.
To kinetic, energy, kinetic.
But it is not that the Lord is transformed to matter. No, he remains his position. His energy is transformed. So this is a very big difference between us and the Mayavadis. Okay, and then all bodies are manifested because Brahman get transferred to different forms. What is all this? Then Brahman becomes subject to change. How can it be accepted? Brahman is by nature joyful, and Brahman cannot change himself to body and suffer. Therefore, Prabhupada used to joke, no, then if you are God, your pastimes are going on, why you are suffering? Listen, I am not suffering, that is my Leela. So Prabhupada said, I'll slap you now. Is that your Leela?
Brahman means the soul, seems. Brahman means?
Huh? Yes, Mataji, did you get the point?
Brahman means?
No, Brahman is liberated always. If you say, I'm Brahman, Brahma
No,
Bhuta
Brahman means soul,
Prasannatma.
isn't it?
Anna? Brahma Bhuta
Brahma Jyoti? Brahman effulgence.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Prabhupada is saying. Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti is always liberated. In the sense, it is in the Sat position, eternal. Each jiva is fully conscious. I am eternal. I am eternal. Tattvamasi. I am that. I am that. You become Brahman. You're not attracted to the metal world. You're convinced you're not body and spirit. You are supreme spirit. You will not be involved in any material activity, and you will go back to the Brahman. But when, as Brahman platform, you have devotion service developed in your heart, then you enjoy so much nectar. We are prone to be covered by the illusory energy. You cannot part and parcel of Brahman are infinitesimal particle prone. As explained, particle Brahman are like spark blissfully dancing within fire. Okay? That's Prabhupada many times explained. We are like sparks. In contact with fire, we are glitter. The spark will glitter when it's touching the fire. But it comes out of the small fire, it'll become smoke. Metal world is like a smoke now, Prabhupada saying here. Spiritual world is like a blazing fire. So we can fall down. The tendency is always there, influence the illusion energy. Okay, but we can become liberated again by the cultivation of real knowledge, and we can free from contamination of the metal world. 77 pages again. Maybe you're doing 10 pages still. We will take 2 months to finish. This chapter is almost like Krishna book, no, Shisha?
Yeah, hold on.
No problem. The way Krishna wanted, let it be the way it is.
Yeah.
याद रहेगा कृष्णा बुक पढ़े थे. All of the chapters go like a flow. One time, one chapter. And there's some story. He's beating him. He's killing him. Yes, so all the tattva is being revised so that we clearly don't leave Krishna book without understanding the philosophy. Yes, Gaurav, we'll stop at 10:15. There is no foreigner here to push us today, so we can close early. Anna? You also have working day tomorrow, Gaurav?
Prabhu, today I heard, every day I hear about Jayapataka Swamiji's lecture, half an hour, which comes in the Facebook.
So you hear every day?
Yes, here every day I'm here. Now he has come to Mumbai. And
he has come to Mumbai now?
Yeah, he has come to Mumbai. He might come to Bangalore or I don't know. But I think he has started his touring again. Maybe. That's what I feel.
Okay. Take it, Mataji.
So he was saying, these days everyone go to the Google and search for it if there is anything. So Google Uvacha, he was saying.
Yes. That has become the authority now.
Yeah, Google Uvacha, he was saying. No, just as a joke. He was just joking.
One beautiful word, that particles of Brahman like sparks of blissfully dancing. That actually spiritual words. Very nice words.
So Rohan wants to join back the conversation. I think he's disconnected.
There inside.
Oh no, Rohan is back.
He's there now, you can see him, correct? Okay, Gaurav, Hare Krishna.
Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna to all devotees.